What if I don't love them enough? That is a very scary thought, right? Because it feels like it has so many consequences. And you may not want to. You may not want to break up. You may not want to even think about those consequences. And so you want and hope and pray that you feel enough or that you will feel more, and you almost kind of demand it from yourself or from your feelings that it has to be enough because or else. It almost feels threatening, right? So this doesn't necessarily say anything about your relationship. I've had these thoughts so many times, this exact one too, and I'm still together with the same guy and very happy right now. So let's explore this. um I didn't feel enough. Like, I didn't have enough feelings of love and passion and butterflies for years in my relationship. And I was obsessively checking whether I felt enough. And that meant that I didn't feel butterflies when he touched me. And I felt like I had to feel that. I checked my feelings constantly. And when it wouldn't be enough, I would panic. That would spike anxiety. I can still remember what it felt like. It would start in my stomach and just kind of like go up um, into a full blown panic. I've had panic attacks, genuine full blown panic attacks from this question and others, but this question definitely also, because it felt so definitive. What if I don't love them enough? Like, I have to face that. Um, and when I did feel enough, when I was obsessively checking, that felt like a temporary relief. So I would feel enough, whatever it was I deemed enough, and then I would feel and think, oh, okay, good. I'm okay. I can stay. But then within no time, I would be checking again whether it was still enough. I also felt numb most of the time. I wasn't, I was, I just wasn't feeling a lot, only fear. And what I didn't know back then, but I do know now, is that when you suppress your feelings, you kind of suppress all of your feelings. So I didn't want to feel many things. I didn't want to feel sadness. I didn't want to feel anger because I'd learned when I grew up that that wasn't allowed. But what I didn't know is that when you suppress some feelings, you kind of suppress all your feelings except fear, because fear is a survival emotion. And so you can't really suppress fear. So when you're in a habit of suppressing your feelings because you're scared for some of your feelings, you tend to only feel fear because that's all that's left to feel. So I felt numb most of the time, and I would think during that time, shouldn't I be crazy in love right now? I had just started dating him when these doubts started. I think we were together for 6 months, and they had already started from the beginning a little bit. And then after 6 months, it was like full blown doubts. Um, and while I was feeling all of this and not feeling enough, I had these thoughts like, shouldn't I be crazy in love right now? Why am I not? What's wrong with him, with me, with the relationship? And it felt like I was leading him on and kind of fooling myself by being in the relationship but not feeling enough. Because when you meet the one, when you meet somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, you should be completely and utterly in love, right? And you should have such intense feelings. And because I didn't, I felt like I was leading him on and fooling myself, even though I was always honest about struggling. And I was definitely exploring this and where it came from. So it felt like I was leading him on and fooling myself, but actually it was not true. And I want you to know that, for if you're in the same situation right now. So all of this was happening when I was 21. We're 16 years further now. I'm 37, and now we're married, and we have been married for 11 years now. We've been together for 17 years, and we have two babies, very cute babies. One baby is 5.5, so not really a baby anymore. And I love him. I love him so much. The days of doubts and having this thought, what if I don't love them enough, are so far behind me. It feels like a different life, because it is such a different way of looking at the world, and also operating from a set of beliefs and fears that are just not present anymore because I healed them and I released them. So when you're so focused on not feeling enough, you're not wanting more love per se. You're not necessarily wanting to feel more love. And I can almost hear you think, no, but I do. I really do just want to feel more love. I know. But what you also want, and maybe even more, is certainty. You want to know for sure that this is the one, that you're not going to miss out on anything. And therefore, you feel like when you would just feel enough, then everything would be okay. Just double checking if my mic was was on. So just imagine if you would feel enough in this relationship with this partner as you are now, then what? And it could be that that spikes anxiety. It could be that that's actually a relief. It could go many different ways. But what would probably happen if you would feel so much more calm and actually feel enough love? There would be the possibility for connection and intimacy. And why is that important? Because not feeling enough can be a protection mechanism. Not really desiring someone causes you to be able to keep a safe distance. And that is very convenient and very smart when you're actually afraid of connection and intimacy. So you have the power to suppress your feelings. Your mind, your body, your subconscious are just a work of art. And when it comes to protecting you, it will use everything. And so one of the things it can use is not let you feel enough love or desire or attraction to your partner. Just imagine that you're very scared of connection and intimacy because connection and intimacy require vulnerability, and vulnerability is scary. Especially when you've grown up learning, picking up that vulnerability is scary. That connection can have negative associations because maybe you had a parent that also had a hard time feeling safe in connection. And so whenever there was a moment of connection, they would freak out. They would lash out. They would do something you don't expect them to do. And so your fear brain kind of concluded connection is not safe. It could be that your parent was a little bit on the suffocating side, so connection in that way doesn't feel safe. There's so much that comes with connection and intimacy. It takes so much to truly give yourself to be able to fully experience and allow connection and intimacy in a safe and relaxing way. And we just kind of assume that everybody wants intimacy and connection and that it's easy. And so many people are struggling with this. I mean, I'm just guessing that it's like 80 or 90% that are struggling with this to some degree. It just takes a lot. It takes a lot of facing your fears of being completely yourself and bringing yourself. So that comes with fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of somebody finding something fundamentally flawed in you. And so it's so much safer and easier to not really allow that connection to be there, not really allow that intimacy to be there. But then when you have a healthy relationship, that connection is always available. There's always that possibility for connection because here you have a genuinely amazing partner who is open to really be with you in any sense of the word. That's when all your fears surface. So this is why you didn't have this problem when you were with that emotionally unavailable person or when you were in that relationship where there was just a lot of chaos and toxicity, because you didn't have to deal with this constant possibility of connection and intimacy. And so what you do is you start to suppress your feelings so that you create that safe distance. It makes so much sense that you're not desiring somebody or being attracted to somebody or feeling a lot of love for somebody when you're at the same time really scared of connection and intimacy. It's just a very brilliant way of keeping somebody at arm's length until you're ready to really surrender to the relationship. And maybe just that word was triggering you thinking surrender. That will feel safe in the future for sure. So I can imagine you thinking, but then do I just have to settle for this? Will I never love them enough? And no, you absolutely do not. Love is not a static thing. Love grows. And it doesn't grow by checking and judging your feelings in any given moment. It grows by releasing the fears that keep you from allowing that love to be there. Love is not something you get from another person. Love is something that is inside you and that maybe gets triggered by other people. But you can feel completely in love no matter what is happening around you. I've felt so in love, like butterflies and all, with just life. Being on my bicycle, I live in the Netherlands, and just looking around, seeing other people, seeing trees, and just feeling that in love feeling. Nothing special was happening. So love and being in love and those feelings that you're craving right now is not something very special you only get from one special person that you have to find in the whole world. That is such a scarce picture or view of love. And if anything, love is not scarce. It's so abundant and you get to feel it no matter what. So I can also imagine you thinking, but yeah, well, what if sometimes you just really don't love somebody enough? Then we can still talk about what enough is and talk about how love grows and stuff. But what may be more important is if you tend to constantly find new things to really worry about in this relationship. So one moment it is that you don't love them enough. The next moment is that you may not be compatible. The next moment it may be that you're just friends because there's no sexual spark. If it hops, the problem just keeps hopping and you find relief, like you find a solution. Oh yes, we are compatible. Oh yes, we can laugh together. Oh yes, there is a sexual spark. Then before you know it, your fear brain has found another thing. That's what I mean with hopping problems. If that's happening, and the relationship is healthy and good and stable and your system is like, what's going on, this is not familiar, shouldn't then I just be completely in love right now? So the relationship is good. And the third one is you don't want to break up. You just don't want to. You're so scared of this question, what if I don't love them enough? Because that might mean that you have to break up, and that's really what you don't want. If those three things are here, you don't have to break up. You don't have to break up because there's always more at play. There's always fears and beliefs that are at play here. Love can grow. You can feel so much love. Love is not something you get from that one special person. So releasing the fear and releasing the blocks you have to feeling that love and allowing that love to be there, to allow connection and intimacy to be there. Releasing all those fears and blocks will cause you to love them more and more and more and feel that love more and more and more. And it won't be a fear-driven love. It will be a rich, fulfilling, so good feeling kind of love where you can just relax into. So this is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people have this thought, have this question, what if I don't love them enough? And it doesn't have to mean something is wrong with the relationship. It doesn't have to mean anything else than there's just a fleeting doubt. But when you notice yourself having this a lot, it can be that you actually have the fearful avoidant attachment style. And even that is not black and white. It's like you're not just one attachment style. It's on a scale. So I don't want to kind of like put a label on you immediately, but I just want you to know of the fearful avoidant attachment style, because if you're struggling in any way with your relationship, with your life, with your confidence, with just struggling, then it could be that you can find answers in learning about the fearful avoidant attachment style. And I so wish for you to have the peace of mind to know that this is not you. It's not your character. It's not a flaw of you. It's not your fault. It just makes so much sense if this is where it comes from, that you're having these thoughts, that you're having this panic, that you're having this anxiety, and you can heal this. You can absolutely heal this. So this channel that you're on now is all about the fearful avoidant attachment style. Watch a couple of videos, see what you recognize if you want that. If not, I am so happy you are here, because I hope this video already gave you some peace of mind, knowing that love can grow, so that even if you don't feel love right now, it doesn't say jack about where you can get to and what you can feel in the future. Anything is possible, especially when it comes to love. I am so happy you are here, and I will see you in the next one.
Healed and Happy is a tailor-made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style.